So, Flippin' Death is coming. I'm just waiting on a few more voice lines, as it's going to be somewhat of a crossover, but not really. And if you want a little spoiler or a little sneak peek, here you go.
Oh, no, Spyro. You have trespassed into my mind.
Oh, that's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. We've got other stuff to discuss. So in the meantime, why not take a little moment to bag on everybody's most hated company. I mean, while it's not quite Thanksgiving, gobble gobble, it's already out. And my God, let's look at it. NBA 2k18 became kind of a meme, as I don't cover sports games really. I don't see the point in them, they're kind of pointless, but dear God, the pay to win on 2k18 was just absurd. It had to be reviewed. Every person, even those that didn't play sports games, had to cover it. And of course, being one of the first, it became a meme, so it was just like, ha 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 ha, now in your Discord there is a little section called NBA where the local Raven Alexander goes, and it's purely a joke. But as I say, at the time it was just a joke. It was a terrible free-to-pay game, and it had a pay-to-win to the most absurd degree. It was bad, it was scummy. Every single reviewer that reviewed it pretty much just reviewed it purely to tell 2K to stop being that much of a dick. So surely, after all that backlash, after all that negative press, surely you would not make the same mistake twice. Oh, never mind. I guess Marcy and her song is right then. Everything stays right where you left it. Everything stays, but it still changes ever so slightly, daily and nightly. In little ways, everything stays. As yes, this is the exact same game, perfectly copy-pasted, with only extremely minor changes to things like the visuals. Like, look at this. I am going to flash back and forth between the free-to-pay screen. Look at this. Aside from the colour difference, they're the exact same. They changed nothing. They learned nothing. And of course, it still has all the other things like the silver and gold editions, the corporate sponsorship, because 2K is not making enough money.
Absolute stuffing of microtransactions into its online mode, pricey ones no less. GTA 5 is the most profitable entertainment product of all time, ever. Way back in 2016, the game raked in over $500 million just from the little side payments, and it's making more and more and more and more. But if you think that would be enough for the company, you haven't been paying attention. To the utter contrary, Zelnick sits on a mountain of gold and literally believes it isn't enough, and that he sees the customers' wallets as a little more than, and I quote, wood to chop. Listen to what he said about the future of microtransactions, bearing in mind always that GTA Online is literally the most profitable entertainment product ever fucking made. You can't give stuff away for free in perpetuity. There's no business model in that. We are convinced that we are probably, from an industry view, under-monetizing on a per-user basis. Yep, that's right. GTA Online is absolutely stuffed full of exorbitant microtransactions. They charged $60 for GTA 5 in the first place anyway, and yet in Strauss Zelnick's viewpoint, that is giving stuff away for free. These executives really are out of touch little aliens, aren't they?
Exactly, Jim. In fact, you know what? I'm not even going to repeat myself. Go watch my 2K18 video. No, do it. Do it now. Pause this video and go watch it, as next to nothing changes and I'm not going to repeat myself. Go watch a fun Thanksgiving video. Gobble gobble. Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble gobble. Happy Thanksgiving, my arse. Now, if you have watched it, surely, there is no way in hell, no way in a million years after everything I just said about 2K18, surely there is no way that you could make it even worse. Everything stays, but it still changes ever so slightly, daily and nightly, in little ways. Everything stays. Fucking God. Yep. Everything stays. The corporate sponsorship, the fee to pay progression, the microtransactions that look like it's a free mobile game, but it's not, it's fucking $60, which is just again the shell, and of course it's more if you want the full experience, which is in the silver or gold editions. Everything stays, but it still changes ever so slightly, as they have reduced the amount of XP that you win, so it's even worse than 2K18, as now it's even more fee to pay. Like, how do you take shit and make it even more shit? How? I don't understand. I can't understand. But of course, it doesn't stop there. Oh, no. It doesn't stop there. Because not only did they make it worse, somehow, despite all odds, but you just had to go one step beyond. This is what it means to go even further beyond.
Is to go even further beyond.
As Europe, specifically Belgium, has classified gambling boxes as gambling. This is nothing new, this has been going on for a while, as that's what they are, with the rest of Europe and the UK now investigating. And despite most companies removing them and shying away from them for less scummier tactics like upfront microtransactions like in the Fortnite store, or at least some sort of grinding progression like a battle pass again from Fortnite, despite all of these less scummy ways to make sure they can erase gambling boxes, despite most of the gaming industry giving up on them, 2K could just not say no, could they? Even after they came out, they were lucky as shit to come out unscathed after the Battlefront 2 fiasco and getting out while the getting was good. Despite this, 2K decided to just go back for more, dig its heels in and say, no, we want to keep them, and they are begging. They are literally going onto the forums and begging for you, the customer, to tell your local senate that gambling boxes are not gambling and you want your right to give 2K money to gamble.
Gamers are still able to acquire packs with My Team points. We will be continuing conversations with the BGC in order to explain our view on how NBA2k and My Team pack purchases already comply with local laws. If you agree, we recommend that you contact your local government representative to communicate your opinion. We will keep the community posted on any developments. We apologise for any inconvenience.
Like, you were getting a 0 out of 5 for being a $60 game with microtransactions, but making it even worse than last year's 0 by reducing the XP so people have to pay more and begging customers to keep gambling boxes. Like, how low can you get? As Yellow Diamond would say,
this is completely unprecedented.
Exactly! This is completely unprecedented. In fact, So much, in fact, that... Congratulations, 2K. Somehow, despite 18 being a worthless fee-to-pay $100 mobile game, you went far below, even for the low standards of your original. You somehow went even lower, and for that, you are awarded the very first ever, not 0 out of 5, but -1 out of 5. You greedy, scummy shit flingers. Speaking of, guess who else is being greedy? That's right, it's none other than Unicronic Arts with their FIFA game. And considering what they're doing, I think that this is so appropriate. Hey everybody, welcome back to Content Cop, where I'm just shaking with excitement as today we get to bully EA, as EA, like 2K, just can't let their loot boxes go, and to use that Goku clip again,
is to go even further beyond!
EA has gone even further beyond 2K, as EA has taken their $60 game with gambling to the ultimate endpoint. You would think after the complete shit kicking they got for Battlefront 2 and now Battlefield 5, they would stay down. But nope, not good old Android Wilson. No, he wants to take it to the ultimate endpoint. First off, FIFA is shit, and has been for years, and their team packs are gambling, and being a $60 game with microtransactions in it is an automatic 0 out of 5. Or does it? As, can we even give it a score? As, is it even a game due to its current standing? You see, EA, even though they've had the shit kicked out of them twice, they can't let it go. And despite it now being the law in the Netherlands and Belgium that loot boxes are gambling and are subject to gambling regulations, EA and Android Wilson, well, they think they're above the law, and the law just doesn't apply to him. No, not at all, because, you know, we're a multi-million-dollar gaming corporation. The Belgium and Netherlands Gambling Federation clearly said you can't sell loot boxes in this game for under 18s, and he went and did it anyway. Oh, now the fun begins. As now EA has clearly broken the law, as no, you're not above the law, EA. Belgium was throwing you one hell of a fucking bone and being as nice as it possibly could, offering a second final olive branch, rather than just jumping straight in basically saying we told you to stop or face the consequences. They were like, hey, listen, we did tell you to stop, you didn't. We really want to say to you, please don't do it. Talk to us, let us know, let's have the discussion. Just switch them off temporarily, like many other companies have done. Just switch them off temporarily, we will talk. Please do it. This is the one and only warning we can give you, or we will have to face the consequences we are now lawyering up. So, what did EA do? This is a full country that has said no to loot boxes, and loot boxes are shit, and we don't want them. And pack it in, or you're going to court. Now, do you think EA was reasonable and took that second warning and disabled the ultimate team packs for a moment until they discussed it from FIFA 19? Nope. They said, okay, do it, bitches! So now both teams are lawyering up and ready to go to court. Yay! And let me tell you, the popcorn vendors are now working overtime, as there is a lot of popcorn getting sold and a lot of auditorium seats are being filled. And as a reviewer, like Jim Sterling and Yongye, who want the best for gaming, we have all purchased front row seats. We're talking in the prime splash location area, like with Shamu at SeaWorld. You love Shamu. I love that giant female orca making me wet, which is kind of fitting considering the big giant corporations usually refer to people as whales, and now it is the whalers that are getting hunted down, hung, drawn and quartered. Because EA really does not realise what it's got itself into. You see, from them publicly announcing that they were going to fight Belgium, and Belgium publicly saying what EA was doing, it had a huge domino effect across all of Europe, with yesterday Finland now officially starting their investigation into FIFA and other games like CSGO, as after seeing Belgium's evidence, they concurred that EA may be in breach of Finland's lottery laws, as all games like FIFA and CSGO's ilk meet at least 3 of the 4 Gambling Federation requirements, which I will now list. Number 1. A loot box, scratch card, lottery ticket, etc. can be bought fully or partly with real-world money. True. The player does not know what is inside the box, behind the scratch card, or know the numbers they will receive on a lottery ticket. True. The prize can be exchanged for real-world money from official sources, affiliates, or third-party companies/sites. CSGO, yeah, EA, not so much, but there are underhanded sites that you still can, so no, but kinda. But most importantly, the license holder implementing the gambling mechanics into their game or selling gambling items like scratch cards and lottery tickets on their premises is doing so without a written permit from the official Gambling Federation of Finland. True. They are selling what is essentially a gambling box without a written permit. 3 requirements, both in Belgium and Finland, have been met, and that is pretty much the same across all of the UK and Europe, and one country, you can overlook that. Like sometimes, you know, even in America just states, oh, well, California's legalized marijuana, but the Texas hasn't. You know, 2 different states, 2 different countries. We can overlook it. One country, overlooked. 2 countries officially investigating, and now all of Europe has its eyes on you. As someone living in Europe, mainly the UK, I have a lot more connections there, and I can tell you that that lawsuit is spreading fast. Someone that works within the police in Stockholm, Sweden, has said that while it's not officially launched yet, Sweden is currently, not quite, but currently gathering information, getting ready to join Finland and Belgium, and across the way in Norway, same applies. It's true, they're not diving in headfirst just yet, but they're gathering and gearing, nothing official. And as a British dragon living here, I know a few police from fur meets like the ones in Manchester and Wales, because they are kind of big events, or MCM, which is basically England's version of Comic-Con. And yes, the UK too is also gearing up. Nothing official yet, but gathering information, compiling it, ready for an official launch. And officially going litigious. Nearly got tongue twisted there. But the main point is, EA, word has spread. across all of the north of Europe and Britain. I can't say the same for the south, like France, Spain, Germany, you know, down that way, Italy, down that way, but certainly across the north of Europe, the world has got its eyes on you and everyone is gearing up. And as I record this line, as I speak these words, a video from several sources literally mere moments ago comes out saying that the gearing up has been complete and now 17 other European countries are joining in the investigation. So you're not just battling one country, EA, you're going to be battling a whole continent soon enough. So this is also a quick addition, so everything's done now, everything was pretty much done, and just as I was wrapping up to save this, we had an update on the situation, and yes, by the way, I do now have all the voice lines from Flippin' Death for the extras. I also have another set of voice lines for the Paladins review, which will both be next, so look forward to them. But anyway, as I was getting the rest of the voice lines and as I was wrapping this video up, EA and Belgium at least, not the rest of the 15 countries that have signed up, but just Belgium, who was the first in and obviously the most furthest forward in the case, have now fully finished their subpoena document, whatever you'd like to call it, like the 16-page dossier. It's more than 16 pages obviously, but you know, like one of those 16-page dossiers that they send to the accused so that they can look through it and read the charges pressed against them and such, so that their lawyers can then counter back. That dossier or lawsuit has now been completely compiled by Belgium, and that statement has now been mailed to EA's lawyers, and that is now being read over by EA. So it is now, we are now in the official stage for Belgium at least. It's officially begun. The document has been compiled and been sent over to EA. It's now officially begun. But one thing in this document in particular that is breaking all European laws, not just Belgium, so EA had to do this in order to not just satiate Belgium but all of Europe, to avoid basically putting people in prison instantly, was disclose their odds. And as you can see on the screen, they did disclose their odds, kind of, not really, but kind of. And that is that each one of these player packs will have a chance of having a certain gold player, which is obviously the best ones, with a percentage, and then a black, I think it's supposed to be platinum, but it came out black, a black ones to watch player. This is the legendary players, you know, like the ones that do all the TV ads, like your David Beckhams or your high profile players, and they change across the season, but they will never fall below 90. You notice how the best players are 85 plus, the ones to watch never fall below 90, but can go as high as 110 because they're the legendary ones. And you can see the stark difference in percentages when you just look at that screen. First off, like gold 75, 100%, alright, fine. Gold 82, it's less than half. But then you drop from 41% to 4%, a whole 40% drop, just to go up 3 points from 82 to 85, which is absolutely, it just shows the greed and absurdity in this. And then they still are technically breaking the law, as the ones to watch player, it says less than 1%. That's not disclosing, EA. What does less than 1% mean? Is that 0.5, 0.6, 0.2, 0.1? I mean, knowing you, I'd have to imagine that it's as close to 0 as you can get, like 0.00001%. But what is less than 1%? So they are still in breach of that law, while they have tried to comply by disclosing the odds. You actually haven't disclosed the odds. And unless I see someone in the near future pull one of these things that isn't on your payroll, like one of these big, let's open 50 fucking FIFA packs, unless I see someone that is like me or any random person pull one of these, I'm going to say that you're lying and it is 0%. Because you haven't disclosed the odds at all. You've said less than 1, and the only number less than 1 is 0. So I guess it's 0%. That's what I'm going to take from it. So yeah, EA is still technically breaching all the European laws because they didn't fully disclose the odds. They only disclosed the odds of their gold players and not their legendary player, which again just shows how greedy they are and how willing they are to manipulate the system to their advantage. So that's it. Yeah, that's that. So I'm just gonna go back to the wrap up. But as I say, it's just interesting to see how viciously EA is trying to defend this gambling practice, and when you see it laid bare that you go from 41% to 4.3% for a difference of 2 points at least, it's just so pathetic, so fucking absurd. And you truly do prove that you are the absolute worst company, EA, and I hope you lose. I really do. I mean, in the review in a minute, you're going to hear me say that they probably won't and explain a reason for it, but I would really hope you would, even though I know what's coming. Back to past Spyro. And now, dear viewers, and EA, let me tell you exactly how this will play out, because that's what I do, that's what Jim does, that's what any retard with even a single working brain cell does, because you're a AAA company and you are the most predictable idiots in the entire multiverse, even more predictable and dumber than Tan among you. So, here's what's going to happen. You've seen the subpoena document, and you are now reading over it, and you are going to build your counter case to it. And I am going to tell everyone that they are going to build their counter case around Section 3. People can't cash out via you. You can't control third-party sites, and somehow, someone on your lawyer team will find something. Sure, you can shut them down, you can tighten up security, as Valve will probably have to do with CSGO. Whatever it is, there will be something that will appease the Belgium jury. It might even appease the entire European Union and Britain. And you will win. But it will be a hollow victory. As, sure, you will win, EA. You will get to keep selling your FIFA 19 gambling packs to underage kids. But with that victory, the lawmakers will have been fully caught up on present day gaming, fee-to-pay mechanics, loot box mechanics and the like. And they will make laws to stop you. Laws with no loopholes. So sure, keep preying on the weak-willed, those with addictive personalities, children and the like, because you are going to get away with it. You're going to ride that Section 3 of them not being able to cash out into the sunset. But I would drastically think about a change for FIFA 20, as at that point there's no way out of it. And that's the best case scenario for you. Like, you winning and you getting to play your little FIFA 19 game and keep your little gambling packs while you work on something for FIFA 20 to make sure it lines up with the court case that you won. That's the best case scenario for you, EA. And you, 2K, just for a minute, you win a slap on the wrist. Like, you've got off easy, 2K, and I would stop right now, because this entire court case is going to change how all these big companies look at their fee-to-pay elements. Again, they're going to win, and they're going to win a slap on the wrist, but new laws will get made, and that's the best case scenario. If you lose, oh boy, let's just say EA might certainly have to liquidate some stock, and any of their games with gambling in might not be sold in Europe anymore. Not that anyone cares, as if you both end up tanking your business and fucking off, that's 2 less blights on the gaming industry that we have to worry about.